Why would a woman want to sleep with her boss? With all the stigma these days and the Me Too movement, why would some women still continue to have sexual relationships with a man in the position of authority? The reason why I find this topic interesting is because it shines a light into female psychology, how women think and what's motivating their behavior. I have 6 reasons, and I hate to tease you, but I'm going to save the interesting ones for last. So let's go through them. The first one, it's possible that there's a genuine connection between the two. If your work is your life, then you don't meet a lot of people outside of work. So let's say if a secretary and a boss, their personality just match one another and they're just meant for one another. It's almost unfortunate that they meet in the workplace. So that's the first one, genuine connection. The second reason is that women are attracted to power, status, and competency. It's self-explanatory. The reason why he's a boss and not an employee is because he's competent. He knows what he's doing. On top of that, if he's good looking, if he's well dressed, if he's well spoken, he comes into the office, everyone looks at him, everyone pays attention to him, he's ordering people around, he's asking her, do this for me, do that for me. It shouldn't be surprising that her femininity would respond to his masculinity. Her biology is screaming like, oh my God, I don't know what it is about this man, but I find him so attractive, right? From a biological perspective, this man seems like the genetic jackpot, right? He's the perfect man to have children with. Because she's thinking, if I can have his children, they would grow up and be just like him. The third reason is that the woman might feel pressured to give in to the sexual advance of her boss in order to keep her job or in order to be on his good side. The boss might have an unconscious authority over the woman, so he might think that it's consensual, friendly banter, harmless flirting or whatever. But she might not feel that way because she's thinking that she needs to keep him happy. She needs to be on his good side. So it might start off with her smiling a bit more, flirting back a little bit, letting him touch her hand, letting him stroke her hair, or whatever. But what tends to happen is a backwards rationalization process after that encounter. She might think, oh, why did I do that? Am I like a slut? Am I like a bad person who just let her boss treat her like that? No, that's not who I am. I don't want to think of myself that way. Then she might think, well, I let him do that to me because maybe I like him. You see, this backward rationalization process occurs when the woman doesn't want to think that she's acting out of fear because that's not a pleasant feeling. So she almost convinces herself that the relationship is somehow mutual. It's a form of Stockholm syndrome. Now, a lot of women actually have consensual relationships with their boss, but it's not necessarily because they wanted to in the beginning. It started out that way, and then they just backwards rationalize it. This is one of the reasons why I don't think it's fair to blame everything on women, to say that if they don't want that kind of relationship, they have the autonomy and they can just say no. I don't think it's that simple. I think men need to be aware of the position that they're in and how women might be afraid to say no. So they need to be careful not to exploit that power. So that's reason number 3, which is painting men as the bad guys. But let's flip that with number 4. The reason why women choose to sleep with their bosses is because they want to advance their careers. I remember when I first read the story of Harvey Weinstein. Every story, they painted him as this horrible guy who took advantage of all of these women. Now, I'm not saying he's a good person. I am not saying that. There were real victims. But not a single article mentioned the fact that some of these women intentionally slept with him because they wanted to advance their careers. How many of the Hollywood actresses and celebrities that we know of now who got paid millions of dollars got their start by sleeping with powerful movie producers, and they did it consciously because they wanted to move up the ladder. So sleeping your way to the top is a very real phenomenon. Women are very well aware of the power of their sexuality. So whenever they have that mindset of, oh, I gotta do whatever it takes to get to the top, then using their sexuality is just one of those strategies they're happy to deploy. Okay, number 5, and this is a good one. Breaking taboo. Some women really get off on the fact that they're doing something they're not supposed to do. And when it comes to her sexuality, what could be more taboo in today's society than a woman sleeping with her boss? It's against the rules. It's crazy. It's scandalous. Some women just really enjoy the thrill of it. Number 6, and I find this the most interesting. She's doing it because she wants to test the power of her sexuality. It's about breaking the rules. These are the women who usually go for married men. Now you might think, why would they do that? Well, the first reason is that they're not looking for anything long-term. And they know that a married man is not going to leave his wife and his family. But the second reason is that they want to prove to themselves and other women, but mainly to themselves, how much power they have over men. Like, if I can get him to leave his wife and betray his family, that's how powerful I am as a woman. That's how desirable I am. In the workplace context, the boss is well aware that he's not supposed to have any sexual interaction with anyone. And if he's really strict on it and he made up his mind on it, to a woman who has this particular mindset, she can see that as somewhat of a challenge, and it would really motivate her to pursue him. Because to her, she's thinking, like, God, he's so unavailable, he's so unreachable. If I can get him to break the rules, how powerful I am as a woman. I'm so desirable that no man can resist me. So she might decide to pursue him as a way of proving to herself what she's capable of. The more rules she can get him to break, the more it proves how desirable she is. So there you go. 6 reasons why women would want to sleep with their bosses. I hope you find that interesting. If you can think of more reasons, please let me know in the comment section. Until next time, stay curious.